All right, good morning, guys. Today is another day checking in, and this is just every day I want to do a quick video talking about where I'm at, how much money we're making. I want to get my agency to over $1 million a year, and so these are just check-in videos of my journey along the way. Man, I think the setup looks pretty good. I'm hyped with it. Oh, and I got my switcher finally. I had to get another cable. So anyway, so basically right now we're still sitting at like 25,000. Problem, like I mentioned, which way do I have to go? Like I mentioned, I had that meeting yesterday and the client is gonna cancel. So that's not good. You know, it's kind of two of them put together. Like I want to be at 4,000, and I am for most people per client. But these guys, I gave a good deal. They're doing stuff together. It's kind of like the idea was that initially it's like them set up together, like them doing a podcast together and like the clips coming out of that. So then it's worth it. But what ended up happening is I ended up pretty much doing two separate packages for them at like a super crazy discount. So it's, you know, if I think about it in an optimistic side, it's going to relieve a lot of stress on me, but it's going to be less money. So not good, but it's okay. You know, it's all good. Like I mentioned, that's just something that happens. Now the churn is relatively low. Like they've been over, I want to say over 6 months now. And in the agency world, especially high, maybe it's better because it's high ticket. I don't know. I think that's pretty good. And I love these guys. And the way it was framed was a pause. I can't remember if I already talked about this. Pause until next year. So we'll see if that actually happens. I never, like, everyone says pause and then, right? But who knows? We'll see what happens. But so that's gonna pop us down to like 20. And that's getting a little bit scary. That's not good. But we've got a couple like in the pipeline ready to come on. So I think it's gonna be fine. So to go, we're at 25, moving to 20. Goal is 90. How the fuck are we gonna do that, right? Well, the goal is to get a few more clients, but also just really lock in the offer and focus, right? I need to just work leads. I need to get leads. I need to work leads. I have them. I'm spending all my time like filming and do and doing all that stuff. And it's like not a very good way to do things. So we're trying to get that completely ironed out. And I think using that Hermosi AI thing helped me. I really like that offer. I like where that's at. Now I just need to get the sales flowing and like I guarantee I could do a couple Facebook posts and get some discovery calls, potentially one client. Usually I sit on messages, like 200 messages, but dude, running a business is crazy, but it's what it, like we all do it, right? And it's fun and stressful, but that's the biggest thing for me is just like start to fill the pipeline, start to work the pipeline. But my false belief is like I need to have everything perfect before I do that. The whole reason I started this thing is I read a book, $1 Million Weekend. Like you probably, if you watch way back those like daily check-in videos, there's a period there while I'm reading that book and I'm talking about it. And like you can see the progression of starting the business because I have a book on my bookshelf. I just saw it. It's called How to Write Your Business Plan. And I bought it in like 2017, 2018, like after reading Crushing It by Gary Vee and decided I wanted to do a business. My boss at the time invested in leadership training for me and things like that. And what I would do is I would always try to perfect everything. I would write like a comprehensive business plan and really think everything out. And guess what? You don't know if that's how it's gonna work or not. You have no idea, no clue. And so typically it's a waste of time. In $1 Million Weekend, his whole take is like, figure out what you want to sell, try to sell it, get the feedback, and then go from there. And it's like, instead of spending months, you know, getting funding, creating your logo, creating your website, creating your business plan, just sell the product. And if people buy it, you've got something viable, and then figure out how to deliver it. And so anyway, moral of the story, I was reading through that at the time, and I was like, shit, I'm just gonna make a Facebook post and try to sell social media or try to sell videography. I'd never in my life done something like that. Like I still cringe at the idea of like reaching out to people or trying to sell something. I want people to come to me, but it worked. I got my first client like in a few weeks just off of that. And then I was like, how do I deliver this? So I had to figure it out. And I'm telling this story because like right now I'm at this spot where I'm like, okay, well, I've got to get my offer, dialed in and perfect. I've got to get my pipeline built out perfectly. I've got to get all the automations right, everything set up so that it's just like boom, 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 like everything's perfect. And that's not true. I need to get on the phone, or I need to send the messages, and I need to get the shit moving. You know what I mean? And then I'll figure out if the offer's good, how to work the pipeline, all of that stuff. But by hyper focusing on one side of it, you're severely missing out on the side that actually matters, right? And for me, this is my experience. I don't know about you guys. You guys are very different. This is my experience. And so anyway, I'm trying to figure that out, but rest my case. The other thing I worked on a lot yesterday was hiring. I had an interview with an ad specialist, had an interview with a videographer, super cool guy. I really like the videographer. And I think this model that I'm trying to figure out can work really well. And I had a really good lunch with like a really good mentor of mine. Like this dude is 100%, not 100%. He's pretty close to 100% why I'm where I'm at today. Is like, he's throwing out things like we're talking, and it's so funny because he's like, yeah, well, I think, you could charge like nothing for your downsell, like access to a community, like, $200-$300 a month. And it's just hilarious because like to him, that's nothing, or we were talking about, what was it? It was $2,000 to $6,000 for something. And it's like, it's kind of a lot of money, but in the grand scheme of things, it's not that much, right? But to me last year, $200 to $300 was a lot of money. Like I remember checking my bank account before I'd get gas or before I'd get groceries just to make sure I was always like on zero. And it's the weirdest feeling because he had me read a book and like change my whole perspective of like, dude, it's so abundant. And when you think small, everything plays small. And so, talking with him, he's the reason like I moved my prices up, and it's like my prices went up 4 or 5 times. And now I'm a little busier with less clients. No, I'm actually, now I'm at the same point. I have as many clients as I did last year about this time, but I'm making way more, and I'm like less stressed because I can pay the team. And so his idea with all this was like, dude, just find the people and start to sell it as me and my team. He's like, even if you're a one-man band, when you're talking with them, it's like, my team will do this, my team will do this. And then it's like, oh, because right now I'm selling the clients, and it's like, yeah, so I do this, I do this, I do this. And then if I bring a new videographer around them, they're like, what the fuck is this? And it's like, oh, not so good. So it's all about the framing. And that was an important thing, because as I talk to videographers and figure this out, a lot of them have, either their own clients or they just want some side work, or they're just trying to get by with side work. And I think with the margins, I can't pay great, but I can pay pretty good for how simple the filming is. Like, and this is the other thing, like you would not catch me going out and filming for $200 for a few hours. Like you just wouldn't catch me doing it anymore. But last year, before I started this, like, hell yeah, I was stoked when I worked at Olive Garden and I made like $120. I was like, this is a good day. You wouldn't catch me out there going out for like $100 an hour anymore. And it's all perspective, but I need to remember there's people at that point, and it's still like, it's good money. Like in the grand scheme of things, it's way more than 15, 20, 25, 30, like it's way more than that. And so I just need to keep that in mind, because I tend to go where I'm at now, or the value of my time, or like what is a lot of money to me now, and try to apply that to other people that I hire or work with. And it's like, dude, most of these jobs, like real jobs, they'll pay you like 15, 20 and just call it good. And I've got to remember, like, those are the jobs that I'm competing with. So if I can do 50, I can do 30, like that's even better, and people are happy with that, especially if it's something that they actually want to do. So, I think it's important to grow your business. You got to change your perspective of money and like all those things, and what's worth your time and what's not. But you can't get disconnected, because like people still want to grow, and you need, and you can still pay them something that's valuable to them, or a good amount to them. And it's different skills, different risks, so it's worth less. You know what I mean? Like, dude, if it tanks tomorrow, I'm on the chopping block, that's just how it works. So it's so stressful. But anyway, that was the focus for today. Hiring, getting the systems out a little bit better. Really good talk with my mentor and just helping me line things up so I feel like I'm moving in the right direction. And I think we've got a lot of good things going. So I'm really excited on that. Yeah, I guess that's about it. Do you guys think we should start a little community? I feel like I probably should. Maybe that's, I don't know. I don't want to have like 6 freaking school communities. The $9 a month offer is not worth a shit. It's stupid. So you got to pay $100 a month, which is a lot of money. But anyway, I'll see you guys tomorrow for the next video. Thanks for listening to me ramble. Bye.